Hello Scorpio, Elsie here to do a reading for you. Scorpio, it is for the week ahead. How are you, my Scorpios? And welcome to Leo season. I'm here to do a reading for you. It is for the week ahead. As I said, friends, we're doing a 9-card draw. This reading might resonate for you. It is a general reading. It might resonate for you if you are a sun, a moon, a rising Venus or Jupiter sign in Scorpio. Let's find out what's going on with my sister sign. Leave here what does not belong. Take with you what is yours. We're doing a 9-card draw. If I haven't said that already, I'm already forgetting. Let's find out what's going on. I'm already in the channel here, friends. Let's find out what's going on for you, Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Scorpio for the week ahead. Scorpio, I feel like you're waiting on something. What is making you... It's like you're in a holding pattern. You're sort of looking at the future, wondering what you want, but it feels like you're sort of sitting there waiting for something to show up. It feels like it's very emotional, whatever it is. The water here is what we got our eyes on, and the waterfall. Nobody's sitting at the table, but there is a cup there. It feels like you are in sort of thought about what you no longer want to be connected to. Feels like the devil energy is possibly holding you to the past, but you really want to move forward here, Scorpio. Feels like you're chained to someone or something. And we have the 9 of Cups. Yeah. It does feel like that there is what is holding you back from taking action on something you want in the future that you know. I think you know it's going to make you happy. This could just be simply going on your way. I'm just saying, for those of you who are single and are not interested in anybody else being in your life, this really is you being happy on the inside and happy on the outside. We all know you got to be that before you can attract what you are. So the 9 of Cups here is wish fulfillment. I feel like you already are looking toward moving into wish fulfillment, but I really do feel that something has got you chained to the gate. I think you want to go, but something's got you chained there, and I think it might be the devil energy. It's a repetitive thought pattern, a repetitive way of feeling something. It feels like you are still attached to something in the past. It's not quite over. It's not quite done. I'm going to say, because it feels like you're still attached to someone, something, a situation, but you're sitting here alone. So I'm going to say that it feels like you are still attached to someone, maybe energetically, but you are on your own. You could be, what I'm getting at here is I think you could be maybe separated, not yet divorced. It could be that for some of you. We've got the Lovers. Center of the reading is always the heart of the matter. We've got the Queen of Wands. Yeah, it feels like you are waiting to get into some sort of independent energy, because I feel like there's something very emotional waiting for you in the future, or you think there is, or it's wish fulfillment. It's happiness. And it almost feels like, but I have to wait till I break the chains that bind me first. I have to learn how to live on my own, be by myself, be independent, be the leader again. It feels like you're in this place of healing, Scorpio. Yeah, it feels like healing. You're becoming more hopeful and more happy. But I do believe it feels like it's going slowly, because the devil energy is Capricorn. So it feels like you're trying to cut away from something that's rooted, something that's been in your life for a while. Could be a thought pattern, but it does feel like it's quite emotional. But I think you're really impatient to get out into the future and see what's out there for you. The Lovers is here. It feels like this is a choice. It almost feels like somebody here is lingering. You know that it feels like you're in between here and there. You're in the in-between here, Scorpio. It's almost like something is lingering and you know you've got to go, but it's like this is such a familiar place and the future is so uncertain that it does feel like you're sort of lingering a little bit. We've got the 10 of Pentacles. It might be a long-term relationship. Could be a long-term job. Maybe you've retired and it's time for you to leave the job behind. We do have the 3 of Pentacles. Both of these indicate to me that it could be a job we're talking about. But for most of you, I think that it's a community or a friendship group. It feels like it's something you are connected to in some sort of a network. And so for those of you who are maybe separated, not yet divorced, it almost feels like you're slowly disconnecting from your friends. You know how friends act weird, right? People act weird when people are getting divorced or separated. Some people just act weird. And I feel like you are in the process of becoming independent and pulling yourself away from all of this permanent long standing stuff. It's like you have to automatically pivot. You have to pivot. The Three of Wands is here saying, look, you have to make a choice. You have to make different choices than you thought you'd have to make right now. But it feels as though you are rebuilding, I would say. You're building from the ground up. But you're not starting from the beginning, Scorpio. You're starting from wisdom. It feels like somebody's like, yeah, now I get to start all over again. But I don't think you're starting all over again. I think you have wisdom, or the Queen of Wands wouldn't be here. And we have the Six of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely crawling out of something that I feel you would call a dark place. And I feel like it's taken you a while to heal. It feels like you're still attached to it. I feel like you just want to emotionally move away from it. Move into the future, expand your future, find out what sort of adventures are out there for you. You just want to go. But it's almost like this Ten of Pentacles is an anchor. It might have been all you know, right? It might be all you know, that you've been anchored to whatever this tree is here. You've been anchored there for so long that it's hard to see a life alone, building your own happiness, healing by yourself, getting some sort of attention again. Like, that's the weird part, right? Especially if you've been in a long-term relationship or you've been in a job for a long time. It's like learning how to live without the 10 Pentacles. We're going to put a couple of cards down at the side here. These are whatever is going on under the surface that you may not just see just yet here, Scorpio. Ah, we've got the Sun. Look, it's going to get better. Here comes the Sun, and I say, it's all right. It's going to be all right. We've got the Eight of Wands. I feel like you're in a temporary stall, I'm going to say. But I do feel that you're very emotional. Look, we have a waterfall here. We have a waterfall here. It feels like tears to me, or that something is ending that's making you overly emotional. But yet, the Eight Wands are standing here ready to move with velocity into the future. I feel like once the Sun comes out, once something is revealed to you, that will be the time for you to go. You're in a vibration right now that I feel is, I'm going to say that, I don't know for any of those, I'm looking at the gong, any of those of you who have ever had a chance to hit the gong here, it's like the very first time you hit it, it's loud and then it dissipates. I feel like you're in the dissipation of the sound of the gong before you hit it again in the new cycle. So I feel like right now, the Sun is here. It's going to be revealing where you've got to go next. I think you're sitting here by yourself because you're not really sure what to do with the future energy. All you know is that you're in this independent energy. It's like you're on the motorcycle and it's revving, but the brake is still on. It feels like you just can't move just yet. Let's find out what the Devil is here. Let's clarify the Devil for Scorpio. We've got the Hierophant. I do believe that you're attached to some sort of commitment. It could be a contract, right? It could be a contract to a workplace. It could be that you're very attached to the corporation. I was just saying, it feels like somebody here is probably retiring. Or you've just retired. Or you're retiring next week. Or maybe next week is your first week after the retirement. Tell me about the Hierophant. We've got the Knight of Cups. And we've got the Page of Swords. It's almost like a bit of a curiosity, isn't it? It feels like a bit of a curiosity about what's going to come in the future here. What adventures await you? But then I look at the Knight of Cups and I think that you're like, now that this is finished, now that this slate is cleared, I need to be very strategic with who I give my emotional energy to. Because I don't think you're into repeating cycles here. You're not repeating cycles. It feels like this Hierophant, it does mean commitment, and I feel like you're tied to some sort of commitment in some type of way, but it feels like you're being very strategic about how you're placing your emotional energy. I think that the rosy colored glasses are off because the Page of Swords is here. I feel the rosy colored glasses are off here because we've got Neptune, Pisces, right? It feels like you are no longer looking at things as though they have potential. You want the data. I feel like here, you want the data, and then I'll go. Tell me what's going on with these pentacles. And if the data doesn't work out, if the truth is that the data doesn't tell me the details, then I'm not doing that thing. Tell me why the Lovers is here. It does feel like it was your choice to leave the commitment, if you're a person leaving the commitment. And if you're retiring, I feel like it's not like an age thing. It's not like you've aged out. It feels like you have decided to go. So you might not even be of a retirement age yet, but you also might be past the retirement age. It doesn't feel like you had to retire, is what I'm saying. The Lovers is here. We've got the Death card in the reverse. The Tower, you don't want to let it go. There is something here that you don't want to let go, but look, there's so many beautiful things waiting for you in the future. There is a new cycle that's ready, a new creative cycle or a new part of your life that's ready to be born, but I don't think you're quite done mourning what is gone. That's what it feels like. I'm still mourning what is gone. Now with the the Death card in the reverse, to me that's somebody who's not willing to let go. I'm not ready to let go of this yet. I'm not ready to let it die. But it feels like the Tower shows up and says, Bob's your uncle. Sorry, get the heck on the road. Enough sitting around lonely. It feels like somebody, the universe is showing up and saying, look, there's a realization that's coming. The realization is the choices that you make from here either make you or break you. It feels like the Empress energy is like you can birth any cycle that you want from here. It's completely up to you. You are sovereign. You have wisdom. Like I said, you're not starting from the beginning if you're rebuilding. You're starting from wisdom. And it feels like you have everything that you need, including this fire. I feel like you do want to, I feel like you're resilient. And you might just be in this place where you're having a really hard time letting go of a long, long cycle. Like these are pentacles, and to me it could be 13 years. It could be a lot longer than that. But it feels like you are on this road to where you need to learn how to be independent again. And I think that you're trying to bounce back from something. So there is healing involved here. It feels like next week might be a very intensely healing week for you, where something is realized. We do have the King of Wands. We have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. Oh yeah, who's that? Is that Marshmallow? Sorry, I'm hearing a song, that's why I'm saying that. I'm clairaudient for those of you who are here for the first time. I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. And only for a minute, I want to change my mind because this doesn't feel right to me. I want to raise your spirits. But then I know I'll have to leave. So this is your choice. For those of you who this is a long-term relationship or a marriage, it feels like you have tried everything. I'm going to say you ran this whole damn thing into the ditch. You did whatever you could to keep it on board, to keep the spark. I don't feel like it's something that you are giving up on easily because you're a Scorpio. You're a fixed sign. You're not just going to toss things aside. You are going to run it into the ditch before you're able to get out of the car. But I feel like you're having a hard time letting something go. You are the wounded warrior, but the Eight of Cups is here. And I was hearing that song because the Eight of Cups came out. It was like, but only for a minute. I want to change my mind because this doesn't feel right to me. I want to raise your spirits, but then I know I'll have to leave. So that's what I heard with the Eight of Cups here. Yeah, that's I think Marshmallow with somebody else. Anyway, the King of Wands is here. This is the wisdom speaking. Yeah, this is your wisdom speaking as you're healing. I think that you know that this is done. This cycle is over, but nonetheless, you're having a hard time letting go of it. And I feel like the Tower shows up to say, look, things will never be the way they were. You were building an illusion and it hung around for a long time, but now it's time to start from the beginning again. But as I said, I don't believe you are right at the beginning. We have the King of Pentacles. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune shows up. My gosh. And the Hanged Man is here. The Ten of Swords. Okay. So it almost feels like you're going through this healing period where you're like realizing that you did some things wrong too. I don't think it was all the other person. I think that especially when we're in a long-term thing, a long-term career, a long-term relationship or a marriage, it feels like, we sort of relive it all and wonder where we could have done better. The King of Pentacles is here. I feel like right now you are in this new world of building something brand new. So I think that there's a lot of obstacles that you've never had to maneuver before. I think that this, we see the King of Pentacles here, and the King of Pentacles, you might be maneuvering things emotionally. There's water here, but also financially. This could be the splitting of assets. This could be, are we going to be kind to each other? Are we going to be friends so we can split whatever we have built throughout time? And I feel like the answer is yes. The Wheel of Fortune is here, and I feel like everything works out fine in terms of your work, your job. It feels like that you get some sort of big maybe a big windfall or a big chunk of money from your workplace. It might be a severance pay, or it feels like something that is going to make your financial life easier. So it does feel like a wheel of fortune. So something is expanding. And I think that being with the King of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, I think your friendship group is expanding, your community is expanding. But I also feel the way you trust people is changing as well. The King of Pentacles tells me that I feel like what's expanding and changing is your financial situation as well. And I think that's what you were holding your breath about here just a little bit. This is the only card that I see that this person is in a pause, trying to look at things with perspective, but it feels almost like holding my breath. I don't know why in this particular one I see that, but it feels like somebody here is holding their breath. It does feel painful. I'm going to say it is painful. Maybe you feel like somebody did you dirty. Feels like there is pain, regret, possibly I feel betrayed by you, something like that. But I feel like it's time to get it together, man. Yep. Pull it together. It's time to get your emotions I'm going to say your feminine and masculine balanced again. Because sometimes when we're in a relationship, especially if we're the ones who are expected to carry all of the things, sometimes the woman can become very masculine, or the man can become feminine because they're being bossed around by the feminine. Like there's so many things. I feel like this is a time of your recalibration is what I'm getting from the Chariot, and you will be successful with that. But I feel like it's a big healing process that you're going through right now. Look, we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be in the extended with us, then please look at the pinned comment at the top of the comments. I'm going to be clarifying these ones we haven't talked about. We're going to see what's going on under the surface, because something here is being revealed to you about a new cycle that's beginning here, and the Eight of Wands is the velocity in which it's coming at you. We'll talk about that as well. If you want to come to the extended, please click on the membership link, and that will take you to the extended. And if that's where all the extendeds are. If you're interested in a private read, please know that I am caught up. If you're interested in a pre-recorded reading, they're no longer on sale, but readings are still open. So if you're interested in booking a reading, please do that. Also, my live readings are open and are always on sale. You do have to pre-book those as well. I'm not usually just online so you can find me there. You do have to pre-book those readings. I'm going to go for now, and I'm going to go into the extended because I'm interested to see how you are going to fare through all of this. It seems like a pretty heavy cycle that you're just exiting. So we'll have to see what comes up with your monthlies. Your monthlies will be coming up soon, Scorpio. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Thanks, Scorps. Bye-bye.